All right, let's cut through the fog, shall we? Zia Youssef, chairman of Reform UK, needs to pack his bags and step down. Not tomorrow, not next week, not now, yesterday. And don't give me that, oh, but he's a patriot nonsense. I've seen more convincing patriotism from a soggy Union flag in a rainstorm. Here's the deal. Reform UK is supposed to be the bulldog of British politics, snarling at the establishment, tearing into the bloated corpse of Westminster's failures. It's meant to stand for the people who've had enough of open borders, woke drivel and politicians who'd sell their grannies for a photo op. But with Youssef at the helm, it's starting to look like a posh cocktail party for ex-bankers who've lost their way. This bloke's a millionaire, right? Made his fortune selling some fancy app for the ultra-rich, Velocity Black they called it. Sounds like something you'd order at a Mayfair bar, not a rallying cry for the working class voter. He's wined and dined with the global elite, hobnobbed with models in Mykonos, and now he's the face of a party that's supposed to represent the bloke fixing your boiler or the nurse working double shifts. Pull the other one, mate. He's about as in touch with the British heartland as a vegan at a butcher's convention. And then there's the Rupert Lowe thing. Now, as I told you in my previous video, the Met Police or the CPS have completely ditched those charges against him brought by Zia Youssef. And this makes his position now untenable. He has to go. And it's Reform's biggest mistake. Yes, they did great work or were very successful at the recent local elections. But let's face it, Rupert Lowe is or was Reform's best performing MP, a man who actually talks sense and doesn't mince words. And he got suspended because Youssef claims he was threatened. Threatened? What? Did Lowe have a strongly worded email in his direction? Pathetic, isn't it? The police were involved, and as I've just told you, that was dropped, and it stinks like a massive stitch-up. Word on the street, or rather on X, is that Youssef's weaponising the law to silence dissent, turning Reform into the very establishment swamp it swore to drain. That's not leadership, that's a tantrum. Now, I'm not one for tiptoeing around the obvious, but let's address the elephant in the room. Youssef is a Muslim, and some folks are kicking up a fuss about that. Here's my take. I don't care. He could have worshipped a garden gnome. What matters is whether he's the right man for the job, and he isn't or wasn't. It's clear, isn't it? His appointments caused a rift in the party. Members are jumping ship. Branch chairs are resigning. This is still happening even after their local election win, and the grassroots are spitting feathers. If you're chairing a party and half your base is calling for your head, you're not uniting the troops, you're leading a mutiny against yourself. Then there's his obsession with professionalising Reform. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Except it's code for turning a scrappy rebellious movement into another slick, soulless political machine. Vetting candidates like they're applying for a job at Goldman Sachs, expelling members for spicy tweets, and sidelining anyone who dares mention mass deportations. Farage himself called that a political impossibility, but Youssef's acting like it's a personal insult. If you're gagging your own people to avoid a few awkward headlines, you're not a reformer, you're a bloody censor. And let's not kid ourselves about his loyalties. This is a man who was a paid-up Tory until August 2024, when they finally booted him out for moonlighting with Reform. You don't go from cheering for Boris to bankrolling Farage overnight unless you're either a chameleon or an opportunist. I'm not saying he's a plant, but if he's supposed to be Reform's great hope, why does it feel like he's auditioning for a seat at the Davos table? The truth is, Reform's at a crossroads. It's got momentum, 4 million votes, 5 MPs, and polls showing it could give Labour and the Tories a proper kicking. But with Youssef steering the ship, it's veering towards the rocks. The party's supposed to be a battering ram, not a yacht for technical billionaires. If Farage wants to keep the dream alive, he needs to ditch the deadweight and put someone in charge who actually gets it. Someone who doesn't need a dog walk to figure out what the average Brit is thinking. So Zia, if you're watching, I doubt you are, do us all a favour, step down, take your millions, your Mykonos memories and your corporate jargon, and let Reform get back to being the voice of the people, not the mouthpiece of a man who's forgotten what the real Britain looks like. And that's it, I'm done. I'm past 49, thanks for watching, and until the next time, Roger Trout.